Hello out there in video land. This is the third time I started the show for you guys, but I'm all right with my radio guys. Hey, listen, it's Manic Monday. I'm here. We had a wild weekend. Everything was going crazy. So much going on. The temperature dropped into the Arctic range. But you know what? It's back up. It's 32 degrees out there. It's a beautiful day, partly sunny, or maybe mostly sunny with partly cloudy. But it's gorgeous. And Gary Wilkins told me I'm not a good weatherman. And he's right. I'm not a good weatherman. I'm a much better commentator. I said March 1st for summer. The Rodent said 6 weeks. That was 4 weeks ago. The Rodent's right. He's winning. Well, I can dream, can I? I can dream of summer, can I? My buddy Chopper's coming back from Mexico to this weather. It's a lot warmer where he is, but he'll be back tomorrow. Should have stayed another month and listened to the Rodent instead of me. And there goes a fire truck. Now the fire trucks were over there; they were doing a show, and the cops are over there, and the Ontario Provincial Police prisoner transport van, offender transfer van, was over there. So I don't know if they roasted up some criminals or what happened. But anyway, we got lots to talk about, especially the dust up at the White House, because that's the one main thing I've been arguing all weekend about. But let's get to our sponsors first, and we're going to get back to that with viewer comments and everything else. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamel Machine Company. Now, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Listen, you got to get your car in there. Look at this weather. You need it washed. You got to get those winter tires off. You got to get ready for summer. Check your air conditioning. I know, it's 32 degrees. So why would I be checking my air conditioner? Well, better now than when it gets hot. And everybody's getting in there to get everything checked because everything breaks down when it's not supposed to, right? Right. Okay, so get in there, get everything checked out, make sure your car's running tip top, it's safe, the brakes are good, your oil's good, change that oil, do all the things you're supposed to do, make your car run right, make it happy, be proactive. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And if you need some body work because you got an fender bender or a major accident, Ken's got a full body shop there. He'll get your car in and send it back to you in showroom condition. You can't miss Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Support our sponsors because they support the show, and that's what's important, right? Also, don't forget to subscribe right down below there, this side or that side. There's a subscribe button. Hit it. It costs you nothing. Costs you nothing to subscribe. Not a dime. And you'll get notifications when I post the show, which is usually in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. It goes up. We see the live show on 4680Q Radio. That's where we're in the studios of 4680Q. And yeah, so here we are. Did I mention my name, Paul K. Lemire? Did I mention the show, Your City, Your Voice? Well, in case I didn't, there you go. Said it again. Oh, yeah, so subscribe, and you're good to go. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments. Lots of comments. I always read comments. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do some Facebook funnies, and then we're going to viewer comments. So, Facebook funnies. This weekend has been a cleaning of house, my spring cleaning. After people started posting the Ukrainian flag and supporting a dictator, a money launderer, a criminal, instead of somebody who wants peace. They want war. I want peace. I get rid of them. Now, I didn't get rid of them because I don't want to be friends with them anymore. I got rid of them to stay friends with them. Because I cannot have people putting, they want war, not peace, on my Facebook page. And if you support the Ukraine, and what's going on there with Zelenskyy after that rough up in the White House, and it means you support Zelenskyy. And if you support Zelenskyy, who wants to keep the war going, he wants war. No, I support Trump, who wants peace. Now, one kooky person, Terry Wilson, this kook, disturbed individual, I blocked. And now she's posting Facebook stuff all over Facebook about me and my show. And I block everybody. No, only you. Only you I've blocked. You're the only one. You're the only one out of all these people that converse with me all the time. And it's because you're a kook. Get off my pages. Was obsessed with me, following me around, commenting. Just totally ridiculous. I blocked her. Don't get lost. And yeah, I don't block anybody. I want to hear everybody's views. If they get out of hand, then yeah, I throw them out. I mean, I don't fool around with these people anymore. No way. No way. And a lot of people I blocked and unfriended only because I don't want to argue with them. I want to stay friends with them. They have a different idea than I do. And I don't want to see any more flags and any more stupid arguments and everything about anything. No, I'm not going I don't want to do that. I'm going to tell you my view on it. And that's it. That's it. You have your view, I have my view. And there's a lot of people I was arguing with, going back and forth with Rob Repoves, a lot of people I can name, but they were making a case. They were discussing it. The people who have hate, they would rather support a dictator than Donald Trump. Trump is the problem with them. They have TDS. They're the guys they got rid of. There's no arguing with them. They just hate Trump. They just hate Trump. A couple I blocked, and they're never going to be. I won't bother with them. They're just so hateful. I just can't deal with that. I don't dwell on that. Sure, I'll comment. I won't like stuff that people do. I'll criticize them, but I'll never hate them. And so that's right out of my book. Viewer comments, February 27th show. Penny Brookify, meet the new boss, same as the old boss, happy election day. So that was on Thursday the 27th. Of course, we had the MPP, the provincial elections. Wayne Gates won handily, and meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Yep, that's right. This is his fourth term now? Fourth or fifth, and I think he set a new record for being reelected around this area. At 881 Slick. Good morning or good evening, Paul. I was always listening. As always, I was listening to the show. You spoke about my comment on the $213 million Niagara Regional Police budget. I understand how it works with the region and the budget. I get their feet are held to the fire. My point was during your past show, and your friend having his car broken into and the cops not wanting to do anything, and he had to recover his own property. Why do we have a police force? Yeah, and that's a great point, Gary. Why do we have a police force if they won't take care of criminals? For $213 million, they should have looked at this video, went down and arrested these people at the bus terminal. This guy shouldn't have had to do it themselves. And what about the fencing operation being run over a house on St. Clair Avenue that he told the police about? Do you think they'll go down there and investigate what these people told my buddy? Highly unlikely. So great point, Gary. At 881 Slick, speaking of Doge, here's my Doge. Keep the sewer truck parked unless it's absolutely needed. I see that truck driving all over the city all day, wasting fuel and man hours plus wear and tear on the truck. If someone at City Hall can explain the cost of that truck for a day, I would love to know. We will have a group of citizens following these trucks around extremely soon. Doge at work. Thanks, 881 Slick. And you know what? I'm telling you, people are getting into this Doge stuff. They're seeing the amount of money that's being wasted over at in the American government. And they're seeing Elon Musk going in there and taking care of business and saving the taxpayers billions of dollars. Don't think it's not going to spread. The Trump effect isn't going to spread to municipal governments. They waste a lot of money here, a ton of money. I've mentioned it on my last two shows. I'll mention it again where I think we can save. People are going to start coming up with things. I have my Doge agents out in the city, out working to save taxpayers money. There's going to be more coming in, and I have a couple more already, and we'll get to them one day. February 28th show at Dave Wheeler, 11:15. I know you were going to vote for Jody 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. It was pretty obvious I was going to do that. But I'm going to tell you, it was close. I went to the polling station, and I was going to vote for Gates. These PCs had made me so mad that they put an incompetent as a candidate that I was going to vote for Gates just in spite. Then I sat and took a deep breath and said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't vote NDP. Never, ever, ever. So I came to my senses before I put the X down. My hand was going, but my mind was stopping it. And I put an X beside Jody. Dave Wheeler, Trump is going to make Carney great again. Well, Carney was never great, so he can't make him great again, Wheels. If this guy gets elected, forget about it. We're already knee deep. This guy put us all the way in. At 881 Slick, I'm always blessed when I see you, Paul. We absolutely need Doge in this city. We need to form a group where we have the public following city workers and finding out why we hired another 57 employees. I agree, kind of like the statement you said the day before. And I agree. I agree, man. Somebody's got to look into this spending because this city gets a ton of money and we get $20 million other cities don't get. And yet we're no further ahead. Look around. You think we're better than St. Catharines or Welland or any of the other cities? No, we're not. Why is that? It's because we have a bunch of spendthrifts on city council. And until we straighten that out, well, you know what? I got to move this up. This is hanging down. Not used to this hanging down. It's weird. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Let's move on. The effects of the COVID hoax are still haunting us, and it may never end. Not only did it ruin lives, cost people their jobs, escalated prices, it forced businesses to go bankrupt, and set back communities across North America, including Niagara Falls. We have still not recovered. To that end, I read the disappointing news that Ribfest, one of the premier events in Niagara Falls for the last 20 years, is no more. You heard that right. No more Ribfest. Sad. Cost to hold an event like this is mind blowing. You probably can't even imagine what those numbers are. With sponsors and funding drying up, businesses are just hanging on by a thread these days, and huge increases in food prices have almost made it impossible for a family of four to go to an event like this and enjoy the day for less than a couple $100. And, in these tough times when everything's so expensive, right? I mean, a couple $100 could make the difference between paying your rent or not paying your rent, could make the difference between filling your fridge and not filling your fridge, or going out for a night of entertainment with your family. It's just too much. And I know from experience, we had an event, me and John Fillion, one day of 1,000 musicians, and we had it for 2 years before COVID, and we couldn't have had it for 2 years without sponsors and that kind of thing. Now, when we looked at it coming out of COVID, because for 2 years we couldn't even have it because of COVID, you couldn't get a group of people together like that. We just couldn't get the financing to make it happen. The price of the sound equipment to run 1,000 musicians escalated. The price of the generator to generate enough power for 250 amplifiers and 250 microphones and and everything else. Um, it just escalated, doubled in price. And it was very, very hard to raise any money to do an event like this. Businesses are still hurting. I mean, these businesses, their margins are razor thin. They're struggling out there still. And in the meantime, city council has raised their taxes 24% in the last 4 years. 23, 24%, 18% over the last three. We've had 30 or 40% increases in groceries and gas and everything else, utilities, our taxes. It just never ends. And everything filters down to the business owner as well. His rent goes up, his price of food goes up, and he can only charge so much coming in the front door. And they found that out at Ribfest. The prices were just too high for people. 40 to $50 for a rack of ribs. And I understand that one person kept saying, it's a charity event. It's a charity event. Yeah, but people only have so much money for this kind of event. No matter what, you only have so much money to put out there. And once you're tapped out, you're tapped out. So it's sad. And it's just another one of the things we lost in Niagara Falls. Springlicious downtown, New Year's Eve, and down the park, Ribfest, they're all part of the Niagara scene, much anticipated events that are now gone. I mean, Ribfest was a good one. It was fun to go out there, see the live bands and everything else. It's too bad. I feel bad for the people who put it on. I mean, they did a great job. It's not that they didn't work hard enough, I'll tell you that, because they were never ending. The volunteers and the organizers, Tanya Hartford, she was in here many times on the show talking about Ribfest. It's not that they didn't put in the work ethic was there. It's just they couldn't make it work financially. And that's a big problem. I know the pain. I've been there. It's too bad. End of an era. Well, I guess you got to go to St. Catharines. They have the Rib Fest, and maybe this Rotary will get involved with them. I don't know what their plans are. But either way, it's a loss for Niagara Falls, and it's too bad after 20 good years. Adios, Rib Fest. It's been nice. Now, let's get to the events of this weekend. Right? This meeting between Zelenskyy and Trump. This was a staged event, whether you believe it or not. I mean, I've even withdrawn my support for Polivier. Yep, I'm done with the guy that stands for war, not peace. His statement, Canada will always support the people of the Ukraine, runs hollow to me. If you were supporting the people of the Ukraine, you would be supporting Trump. You would be supporting peace. He never said that. He's supporting a money laundering criminal dictator who has stolen billions of hardworking taxpayers' dollars from North America, including Canadians. And it's sad because Canadians are rotting on the streets, dying from being homeless and dying from fentanyl and drugs. And he's sending billions. He's going to continue to send billions to support the people of the Ukraine. You know the best way to support the people of the Ukraine? Stop the war. The statement's pretty clear. Support still Zelenskyy instead of supporting peace. His statement, as someone who's looking to run the country, should have been, I will always support peace. Therefore, I support President Trump. But at that point, he'd have to admit he is supporting Trump because he's a man of peace. And they wouldn't play well to the Trump derangement syndrome infected Canadians. So I'm done with this phony too. I've had it. I've had it with him. I'm going for Max. I'm headed over to Max Bernier, who's telling exactly the way it is. And if you don't believe me, go to Max Bernier's website and see what he says about this whole fiasco. Now, a lot of them are telling me I'm not choosing war over peace. But at the same time, they're calling the guy that's fighting for peace a bully, a fascist, Cheeto man, Southern psychopath, and every other name in the book. And says they're embarrassed by his actions when dealing with a money laundering criminal that is letting his people get killed. They've taken the side of the killer instead of the side of the man trying to make peace. That doesn't sit well with me. You're gone. Oh, yeah. They virtue signal by posting a yellow and blue flag saying, I stand with Ukraine. Look at me. I stand with Ukraine. They have no clue what they're even saying. But do they really stand for the people of Ukraine? No, they stand with the dictator that wants to continue the war. That's who they're standing with. Posting that flag means nothing. What they should be posting is the words, I stand for peace. That's what they should be posting, which means they have to support Trump, and they'll never do that because they have TDS. Right? They're infected. People are infected. Oh, they think they're somehow helping the cause by posting the yellow and blue with I stand for the people of Ukraine, saying Trump is an embarrassment. But the result is they couldn't care less of the people, or they would be giving Trump accolades for trying to end this brutal war against the Ukrainian people. Look in the mirror. When you post that on Facebook, you're telling people you support Zelenskyy. Is that the guy you really want to make out to be a hero? A guy that has stolen billions of your hard-earned dollars and doled them out amongst his cronies while his people die in a war he cannot possibly win? Is that a hero? Really? Is that a hero? Now, this was all staged, right? This has been going on for a couple weeks now. They were going to meet here, they were going to meet there. He wanted to come to the White House. He was told that proper attire for a meeting in the Oval Office is a suit and tie. And don't give me Elon Musk isn't wearing a suit and tie in there. Don't give me any of that crap. Elon Musk is not a world leader coming to Trump begging for money. He's there doing a job. He was called into the Oval Office to give his rendition of what's going on. Has nothing to do with Zelenskyy, has nothing to do with anything except the left deflecting the fact that he was advised a few times to wear a shirt and tie in this meeting. And he came dressed like a bum, an old sweatshirt, and a pair of sweatpants. And this was a deal he already agreed to. Use your common sense. Do you think Trump and Vance and Rubio would parade this nitwit out on stage and argue out what kind of a deal they're going to make in the public? You have to realize that when these guys get together behind closed doors, there's animosity, there's yelling, there's screaming, there's people storming out. It always happens. It's the nature of the beast. They do it behind closed doors for a reason, because they don't want the public to see this kind of behavior. Because that's what happens. We are dealing with emotions, emotionally charged people, egomaniacs, if you will. People who lead countries are sometimes egomaniacs. That they have such a myopic view of their side of the story. They have a hard time negotiating. I mean, this is what Trump does all the time. And he is a good negotiator, but he's still not going to take abuse or disrespect from anyone, including Zelenskyy. So this guy has the deal made. All he had to do was come out, sign the papers, nice, and then go for lunch. What does he do? He comes out, and now he wants to argue, renegotiate it in front of the TV cameras in the world. Look at the 34-minute mark of that video. Somebody goes up to him and whispers something to him. What was that guy saying? Zelenskyy, you're not supposed to accept this deal. You got to get more. You need more money. You need guarantees. You need this. This was all negotiated beforehand. That's when he should have said all this stuff. He does it on TV. Trump wasn't going to take it. Trump, Vance, and Rubio, he definitely double-crossed them. And he was going to plead his case to the American people like they were going to be sympathetic towards this guy. Well, some people were fooled, but not the smart people. They weren't fooled by all this. You don't trot somebody out there to argue it in front of the TV. No, this was a done deal. He double-crossed them. I'm not sure who told him whatever he told him. And when the deal started going south was when he was told something. And Trump finally kicked him out of the White House, no soup for you, and told him to come back when he's serious about signing a peace agreement. And there was veiled threats in that message. And whether you heard them or not, I did. It had to do with the water part of it. Saying you're separated by water, but one day you won't be separated by water anymore. He's threatening them. That's when Trump really got mad and told him he's going to start World War III, and don't you come in here telling us how we feel. And that's right. The guy should have more respect of the office. Trump, Vance handled it perfect. Vance has been against this war for a long time. When he was a senator in Ohio, he's been talking about this, part of his platform. So it's no surprise he got angry at this, and he took the guy to the woodshed. That's it. The U.S. cut them off now. No more money, no more arms. They got to go it alone. Trump's not going to negotiate with Putin, right? Yes, he will. Oh, yes, he will. And you think he's not going to? He will. He will. And this war is going to come to an end with or without Zelenskyy. Believe me, it's coming to an end one way or the other. The hard way, you fight it out with Putin until one of you win. And without the United States backing him, Putin's going to win. and then he's going to get skinned alive or something. Zelensky, he ain't going to be around, or you settle it now. Now Zelensky said he wants to come back and sign the deal now. That's what he said. We'll see. I don't think the United States will sign a deal with him now. They've had it with him. They've had it. His own parliament wants to impeach him for his performance at the White House, his conduct. So what's he do? He goes over to Europe. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But first, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You've got to have a pizza. Everybody loves pizza. And if you're going to get one, get it from Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You got to try their pizza. I'm telling you. These guys use the freshest ingredients. They use the Mancini family recipe for the sauce and for the crust. It's fantastic. They blend the mozzarella with brick cheese. So it's that perfect texture, that perfect mix, that stretch. And then they put it in with the sauce in the right ratio so that it's perfecto. They cook it just right. Unbelievable. They make great pizza, but they're not one-trick pony. They make poutine. They make steak and cheese poutine. They make panzerotti. They make chicken wings. They have perfect, excellent chicken wings. Unbelievable. You've got to give it a shot. How do you get them? 905-374-2222. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Your first stop for pizza. You can go there to their website, petespizzavictoria.ca. Order off the website, skip, dash, whatever you want to use. They'll go with them all, but you got to get yourself a good pizza today. Who doesn't like pizza? And if you're going to get yourself a good pizza, it's Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Support our sponsors because they support the show. Okay, so they're going to have to go it alone. Trump's pulled out his money. Trump's pulled out his ammunition. It's over. He's not spending any more of our money. And I think I said something wrong though on Facebook. I said that Trump was going to give them $500 billion for the mineral rights, but they weren't. They weren't. They weren't paying them. It's the other way around. They owe Trump money. They owe the United States people money, and they're going to pay back in minerals. That's what they were going to do. And of course, once you get the U.S. in there, it's a better deal for the Ukrainian people, not for Zelensky. He's a clown, but for the Ukrainian people, because once the U.S. is in there and they have a relationship on a business level, like minerals out of there, getting out of there, mining them and stuff, then if Russia jumps in, they're going to have to deal with the U.S. because now they have a vested interest. So this deal was good, and it was a good one. He screwed it up, Zelensky. And it would have benefited the ceasefire, would have had a ceasefire, it would have benefited the Ukrainian people. It would have been a really, really good deal. But no, they're not going to give him any more money to extend the war. They're not going to supply him with any more arms. As a matter of fact, right now, if the United States was smart, they'd pull out of NATO. Totally pull out of it. Get out of there. Because the little jerk that runs Canada scrambled over to the UK. They had this big meeting right after Zelensky finished at the White House. It was all planned. They didn't just scramble there on a minute's notice. This was all planned. And the UK committed $3 billion a year until the year 2031 to Zelensky. And I think Trudeau gave him $10 billion or something, gave him more money. They're over there saying they're going to make a long and lasting peace agreement. Well, they already had it. All Zelensky had to do was sign the papers in the U.S. So now they're backstabbing Trump and undermining his peace deal. And Britain committed to putting boots on the ground. He said, we'll put boots on the ground if we have to stop the aggressor Russia. So if he does that, and these other countries follow in NATO, there's definitely going to be a world war. Canadians, do you want your kids drafted? We have no army. We have no military. We're gonna have to conscript people to get them into the military and send them over to fight. You want to fight a war over in the Ukraine? You want to fight for these people? Not even in your backyard. You're going to go over there and do that? And I'm going to tell you, these people that are protesting, JD Vance had to go to a secret location with his family. He was up in skiing somewhere for on his holiday, and he had to go to a secret location because these people were out there protesting and threatening him. I mean, you've got a lot of lunatics running around. You got a lot of lunatics, left wing loonies running around, and believe me, they're going to start something. And you know what? Trump gets out of NATO. He's not obliged to send anybody. He can watch. Let them fight it out. He doesn't need this. The American people don't want this. They elected him on a message of peace, peace in the Middle East, the Abraham Accord, peace in Russia and Ukraine, and he's trying his best. But these left wing radicals, the deep state, the dark state, whatever you want to call them, the globalists are undermining his every effort to try to stop all this. And he's got to pull out. He's got to get out of NATO. He's got to say no. That's it. And he's got to pull all his troops out, pull all his nuclear weapons out. Let Europe fight it out for themselves. And for the people that say, well, if he does that, Russia's going to take over and then they're going to be coming to America. Well, let them come, because it isn't going to happen. I mean, I'll tell you, without the U.S. there, and the British guy said that, the prime minister said it, without the United States, it's going to be tough. They're hoping the United States sticks with them, but I hope they don't. We do not want that. We don't want to deal with that. Canada shouldn't be dealing with it neither, because guess what? Tomorrow is Tariff Day. Oh yeah, it's Mardi Gras too. It's Fat Tuesday, but it's also Tariff Day. And all this backstabbing and undercutting of Trump is not helping him to make a good decision for Canada here. Not at all. No, you better have this. You better have faith, baby. You better have faith that somehow this gets settled. Because your kids are going to be going over. Your sons, your daughters, they're going over. They're going. If something blows up, they're going, man. Pull all your nukes out, Trump. Pull all your troops out. Bring them home. Protect the border. In case these clowns try to get over here. Keep doing what you're doing. Let them deal with it. Let them figure it out. There's nothing there. And when they all blow up and everything's gone and they've screwed it all up, then you can go in and straighten it all out. Let them fight it out, killing people. There's no cure for stupid. There's no vaccination for stupid. And believe me, if Canada gets involved in this, if the Europe gets involved in this, and it blows into a full-scale world war, God help you all. God help you all. And it's not, you think it's not possible? Well, think again. Think again. And somebody said, well, they're going to come to the United States and blow them up. Hey, listen to me. Do you really think that Elon Musk is launching thousands of satellites into space so that you can have some good internet? Remember a thing called Space Force that Trump brought in when he was last president? Do you remember that? Something that you haven't heard of in 4 years. Not a word about it. Of course, because, nobody's ever going to talk about a Trump program, Orange Man Bad and all. But you remember that. And you remember this was the new arm of the military. Do you think Elon Musk has just been launching these satellites for fun? So John Ringo Beam can have internet, and people up north can have internet, and the people of Ukraine can have internet because they were wiped right out, and Trump got Elon Musk to go in and give them the boxes and use Starlink for their internet. You think they're just up there wandering around for the pleasure of terrestrials, people on Earth? I guarantee you that there's a lot more to those satellites he's launching than just internet. Trump talked about an iron dome over the U.S. Have you seen him moving any missile batteries to the coast, either coast or to the borders? I wonder why. He said he's going to make an iron dome, just like Israel has, to protect them from missiles coming in. That I haven't seen him doing anything like that. I wonder if he's already got it. And I wonder if Musk is a part of it. You got to think. You got to think so. You got to think so. You got to think so. So where does the 51st state governor, Justin Trudeau, stand? Well, he says Russia illegally and unjustifiably invaded Ukraine. For 3 years now, Ukrainians have fought with courage and resilience and sovereignty in a fight that matters to us all. Canada will continue to stand with Ukraine and the Ukrainians in achieving a just and lasting peace. And here's another $10 billion to prove we mean it. Now I added that last part, but I think he did give him money. Well, let me give you a news flash here. Le Petit Patat. All you had to do was say, "We back Trump in his peace initiative," and that would have been it. That would have been it. No arguing, no backstabbing, no undercutting. Just we back Trump in his move to bring peace in the Ukraine. But instead, you're another virtue signaler who's going to be gone soon, I hope, that couldn't care less about the Ukrainian people and would back a dictator over a man of peace. Le Petit Patat, the little potato, because that's what he is. So now everybody's got to look in the mirror and decide what they want. You want peace? You want war? What do you want? What do you want? Right now, you're supporting the war with all these flags and everything else, and I support the Ukraine. I don't know why. I can't answer that. Why would anybody want war and not peace? But it has to be down to one thing. Come down to one thing. It's a hatred for Trump. They have TDS, and they would rather support a dictator and a criminal and a money launderer and a war than they would Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. And that's the way it is. So keep your eyes open. Keep watching. Keep watching. There's a lot going on, and a lot of it is going to come to an explosion soon. It can't go on. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. And once Trump pulls everything out, then they're on their own. And I hope he does. And I wish we would too, Canada. I wish we'd wash our hands. This isn't our battle. Get the hell out. This isn't our battle. I don't think PP will do that. He already said he's going to support the Ukrainian people, which means Zelenskyy. I don't think he's the guy to end this. Listen, even Chrétien knew not to get involved with the war with Iraq when they went in there. Remember weapons of mass destruction? When they took down the Twin Towers and George Bush, instead of going to Afghanistan and getting bin Laden, he went to Iraq, who had nothing to do with it. But then they came up with this lie and the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And what's his name there? Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice, they were all saying it. And it was a lie. It was a total fabricated lie. They never had weapons of mass destruction. He was going in to avenge his father's mistake during Desert Storm 1. We're in the same situation. Chrétien knew enough to stay out of it. He said, "I'm not getting involved there." And he was right. He was right. And now maybe little Patat, you should say the same thing. I'm not getting involved. Canada is not getting involved in a war. You fight it out. If you want to talk peace and make a peace deal, yeah, but we're not giving them any more money. We're not giving them any more arms or whatever. We don't have a lot anyway. I mean, right now, we have nothing. So we don't have a lot to give. But what we do have to give, keep it home. Keep our boys safe. We thank them for their service. We don't want them killed. Keep them here. It's not our battle. Worry about it down the road. And what if they're backing the wrong guy? What if they're backing the wrong guy? Don't you remember before World War II, everybody backed Hitler? Oh yeah, he was the rising star. He was giving everybody was giving him money, and Chamberlain was letting him go without putting checks on him. Prescott Bush was financing him, financing Hitler's building of planes and everything else. Yeah, George Bush's grandfather and father. Yeah, they had to tell him to cease and desist. Once they declared war, he kept giving them money to build a war machine. I mean, what if they're backing the wrong guy now? What if this guy has designs and the only thing standing in his way is Putin? Remember, we were allies with the Russians in World War II. Yeah, that's right. Hitler moved into Russia, and that was one of the reasons the Germans lost the war. I mean, they occupied France. They were on their way to occupying Britain, but they got involved in too many fronts when the United States came in. They cleaned them out of Africa, and then they went to Europe and cleaned them out there too. And then they're fighting on the Russian front. We were fighting with the Russians. You know what? The bad guy may not be Putin. Think about it. Think about it. We may be backing the wrong guy. How about that? Can you imagine? Over to my third sponsor. Hamel Machine Company. And Hamel Machine Company's been around Niagara Falls since 1948. They are one of the premier machine shops in Niagara Falls. Been here a long time. Been doing a lot of good work for industry in Niagara Falls. Been doing a lot of good work for us people. You need something welded. You need something fixed. You broke something. You need it re-engineered. You need it made. You need it milled. You need it keyed. It doesn't matter. They can do it all. Plus, they have water jet cutters, and they also have some beautiful 3D printer. So if you want to make something, you want to make a little thing like this, you want to make something, they can do it. They have designers. They have things. They invent. They develop. For industry, they do it all over there. I mean, they ship around the world, believe it or not. Now, you need a pair of back gates for your backyard. You want to put gates across there? Hey, over to Hamel. They'll fix them up for you. They'll weld them up. They'll get them powder coated. They'll do it all. And if you're nice, they'll help you install it. They do everything over there for big industry or for the little households. Now, the city uses them. They need something fixed. Hamel Machine Shop right over here on Bridge Street and on Kent Avenue. They had two offices. This one over here deals in agricultural products. They invented harvesting machines that they ship around the world for hydroponics. Seriously, these people have a serious business over there, and they do great things. Little known in Niagara Falls, other than a machine shop. They do it all. They ship around the world, invent. They do everything. Develop, you name it. Hamel Machine Company. Go to their website, hamelmachine.ca, and check them out. .ca or .com. I can't remember. I got to look that up. Either one, maybe both. But go check them out. See what they do. You'll be surprised what they do for the wine industry in the Niagara region. A lot of work for them. Give them a call if you need anything done. Whatever you need done, give Hamel Machine Company a call. They're going to fix you up. They're going to take care of you. Around since 1948, a nice Niagara Falls business. We always talk about supporting local business. Well, here's one you get support, and they're going to help you out with whatever you need. Hamel Machine Company, tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you, and thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. Let's get back to Niagara Falls. We talked about what happened on the weekend. I'm going to be talking about that all week as more news comes out, because there's always news that comes out. So the big show, Mayor Jim Diodati, that's what I call him, he can't let go of the notion that he was wrong. Jim has backed every loser against Wayne Gates. And really, his endorsement has become the kiss of death for every candidate he backed. What does Wayne Gates have to say about it? Well, he thanks Diodati. The only thing I can say to Mayor Diodati, this is what I think. The second or third time he's endorsed other candidate, I've won. I just want to thank him because every time he does that, somebody else loses and I win. So he's Wayne Gates is beautiful. Bam, Big Show. Take that one from Wayne Gates. So I think he backed. I think he backed Gail. Did he back Gail? He backed Newsting. They both lost. He backed Morocco in 2014. The Liberal. She lost. I mean, this guy. He's got the kiss of death, man. If he has to support you or back you up or endorse you, run, Forrest, run. It's a kiss of death. But the bottom line is, first off, a municipal mayor should not be partisan. They shouldn't be backing any party or any candidate. They work for the people, not the party. And I said that about Wayne Gates too when he endorsed Carolyn Iannone in that. Now Wayne's talking about the kiss of death, but Wayne has been the kiss of death for a few people as well. Anybody who's lined up with the NDP has not fared too well. And that's a fact. So if he said to me, I want to endorse you, I'd say, no, Wayne, I don't want you. Not a good endorsement. People expect nonpartisanship from municipal and regional councils. They don't want you to vote with a party line. They want you to work for the people. Vote for the people, what you think is best for the people and what they tell you they want. And the second reason is I don't care who he backs, but the notion that it's better to have an MPP that represents the ruling party is wrong. Sorry, Jim. It has never been proven that it matters. Let's face it, if Ford wants to ever win in this riding, he's going to have to keep working with someone here and giving us stuff. He's going to have to give us the goods. He does nothing for Niagara. Why are we going to vote for him? We're going to vote for the first person who says we're going to give you some. Right? Yeah, so it's never been proven that the MPP from the ruling party is better than the MPP the people want. And you know what? That was part of the program. The only thing I think Ruth Ann Newsteak said is, let's have a seat at the table. Well, you know what, Ruth Ann? It didn't matter. People didn't buy that stuff. People didn't buy it at all. They've seen Wayne Gates out there. Bop, 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 bop. He's always talking, but he's talking for the people. He says what he wants for the people. Now, he may not get it. He may not get what he wants, but he's still going to get some stuff. And so are other people. I mean, we have Jim Dudaddy, who's the Ford's on speed dial. You can talk to him all the time. And I don't understand why they keep saying that, because it doesn't play out. It doesn't play out, and it doesn't matter. I mean, please, somebody out there, tell me what Niagara Falls has missed out on since Gates has been in power. What have we missed out on? We got a new hospital. We're twinning the Skyway. QEW is being expanded in Niagara Falls. Stan Cho has been now saying he wants to double tourism in the region. They're going to expand the Niagara District Airport and develop it into a major airport. Ford wants to bring more gambling, let more venues have gambling. Cho wants to double the tourism, so the more gambling makes sense. What has Niagara Falls not received with Wayne Gates in charge? And I don't think Wayne Gates has done anything. So don't get me wrong here. I'm not toting Wayne Gates. I'm just asking a question. What has Niagara Falls been deprived of because Wayne Gates is the leader here? Come on, tell me. Comments. Leave comments. When you tell me, I'll post them. I'll say, well, this is what we missed out on. But I can't think of anything offhand. I really don't think offhand. I mean, We've got more developments than any other place in the province. We're the fastest growing region in the province. I don't know. What haven't we got? What are we missing out on that we should be getting that other people are getting and we're not because of Wayne? Fair is fair. So Diodati, he's a little bit of a capatosta. He continues to believe that. In this quote, it definitely puts the riding at a distinct advantage when you have it the same the party the member of the party representing the city. It helps to get things across the finish line. Okay, Jim, what? I mean, it takes a lot of the blame off a lame council, that's for sure. Blame the province and MPP for everything. Yeah, it's Wayne Gates' fault. But it really isn't. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water. And just a note on the side. Rand, who lost the election by a landslide, I mean, she got crushed, had the same campaign manager as Jimmy Diodati. Here's the problem. Rand is not Jim Diodati. The best candidate for the party in this riding would have been Jim Diodati. He should have ran. So why didn't he run? I don't know. Why wouldn't he have ran? The best candidate would have been Jim Diodati. He would have gave Gates a battle, a real battle. He's a perfect guy for the job, the consummate marketer. He likes to be on TV. He likes to be on camera touting Niagara Falls. He's a great ambassador for Niagara Falls. So why didn't he run? I think he could have won. Why didn't he run? I don't know. Maybe he hates to lose. Maybe he hates to lose. It would have been a tough fight. I mean, I think he might be able to give Gates a real good battle, but I don't know if he beat him. I don't know. I think he has a great chance to. Maybe he was afraid he was going to lose. He doesn't want to be a loser. I don't know. I guess he figures he's comfortable in the mayor's chair. He's making great money. He's a big shot. Everybody wants to talk to him and everything. He lost. He might be just washed up mayor. I don't know. But I mean, at least Niagara Falls has some exciting stuff coming down the QEW from Queens Park. So we'll see what happens. They expand the airport, bring more gambling, widen the QEW, twin the Skyway. Some big projects coming this way. I want a monorail to move people around. That's what I would like to see. If I was MPP, I'd be pushing for that. We need a modern transportation system that doesn't interfere with the flow of traffic in Niagara Falls, and an overhead system, an overhead monorail is the way to go. But anyway, I don't know why Jim didn't run, but I knew one thing, that Rand was going to get crushed, and she did. Anyway, thanks to a great article from Ray Spiteri in the review. He's an ace writer, and his articles are always good. I always refer to them. Thank you, Ray, so much for what you do for the city by posting those great articles. So, mañana is Tariff Tuesday. It's also Mardi Gras and Taco Tuesday at some places. But the Trump tariffs are supposed to go into effect tomorrow, and Canadians are crying like crazy. Some say this is a direct violation of the USMCA. Oh, man. Let me tell you something about the USMCA. It's a deal that is reviewed every 6 years. That review comes July 1st, 2026. Does not have to be renewed as it stands. Now, the world has changed dramatically since 2019 when that deal was put together. It's not the same since Biden took over. The world's a different place since COVID. I don't know, was that deal put together in 2019? I think it was, because 6 years will be 2026. Oh, 2020. Okay, sorry. But the world's a whole different world. And since Biden took over, it's even become goofier. We had no wars. We had nothing. The economy was rolling along, doing great. Then came COVID, and then came the election, and then everything changed. We end up being at war in two places, and everybody else shaking their sabers, and the United States with an ineffective and incompetent leader. Terrible. So, yeah, the USMCA should be looked at again for sure. So, how is Trump changing the rules? Well, he's been able to skirt the USMCA because of the security threat behind it. Because of the open borders and the drugs coming across the border, Trump is viewing this as a security risk, and the USMCA is not important to him anymore. And that's why he's going to put tariffs on, and he's skirting it under security unless Canada and Mexico can get their act together. We're both security threats to the United States. He is going to protect the American people. That's what they elected him to do. Now, what can Canada or Mexico do because he skirted this? Well, I mean, they can take him to court. By the time he gets to any kind of court, it's going to be up for review anyway, and he's going to negate it. He's going to say, no, we're not doing that anymore. So there's really nothing anyone can do except whine and cry rather than taking action and trying to work with Trump. I mean, we should really be forming an economic alliance with Trump. We should be at the table saying, listen, why don't we all get together? Why don't we use a common currency? Why don't we open the borders to each other, not to other people from other countries, that to each other? Let's have trade without barriers. Our products go into the United States. United States products come into Canada. No barriers. Interprovincial barriers gone. Intercountry barriers gone. The 49th parallel basically disappears. There's still Canada and there's still the United States. And we're still Canada and there's still the United States. But at the end of the day, we run the parliamentary system. We have our own elections. Everything stays the same, except trade is going to be free. And we have one passport for both countries. You want to go there and work? Go there and work. You want to? It doesn't matter. We're all going to be one big happy family here. The border's gone. But there's still countries. You look at Europe, they can go back and forth between countries, no problem. But there's still other countries, and you don't lose your identity. Go to Texas and ask them if they're Texans or they're Americans. They'll tell you what they are, and they'll tell you fast. Go to Chippewa and say they're from Niagara Falls and see what they tell you. We got it right around here. You don't have to go all the way down south. So we can still have our identity. We can still have our provinces. We can still have everything. Every state has a governor. He's the president of the state. States have autonomy, but there's federal programs that the federal feds should be taking care of, like military and investigative agencies like the FBI and that kind of thing, right? So they can help the states when they need it. States can't have their own army. They have National Guard for their state, but they can't have an army to protect them against a bigger country. Like if Mexico decides to invade Texas, they don't have the ability to protect themselves. So that's why the federal government has the military. So we can still do that, and that's probably what we should be doing rather than getting mad and we're going to put tariffs on you and everything. We should be sitting with Trump saying, "Hey, let's get rid of all the tariffs, buddy. Let's make it good for everybody." You know that pipeline? We're going through Quebec. You know, they're going through there. The heck with Quebec. But now it's Daniel Smith at Mar-a-Lago pleading a case for Alberta. And if she wants to leave, I don't blame her. Well, that's what should really be happening right now. And as we're on the eve of tariffs coming on tomorrow, I mean, it's more important than ever that Trudeau's here. He's here. Speaking with Trump, trying to get this straight up. But where is he? Over in Europe, plotting against Trump with Zelenskyy. I mean, seriously, people, this country is screwed. We have big problems. And you can beat your chest and we beat them in hockey. Oh, we can beat them in hockey. That doesn't have nothing to do with anything. Because we beat them in hockey doesn't mean there's not going to be tariffs. People have to start being responsible and understanding what's going on here. These aren't games. Trump's not playing games. I don't get it. You can sit there and go Orange Man bad and Southern psychopath and everything else. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you're way better off working with Trump. Even if you don't like him, work with them. There's people that you don't like, you work with if you got a business. You don't necessarily like them, but you work with them. And that's what they got to do. So at the end of the day, Trump made a gracious offer that may not be on the table anymore. He said, come on, join us. Let's make North America great again. And of course, everybody got their backs up, and little potato that would be king threatened them, and Doug Ford's threatening them and everything else. The wrong way to deal with it. The wrong way to deal with it. Like Rodney King said, can't we all just get along? And I'm going to tell you one thing right now. We should all be getting along. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. But it's not looking great out there, I'll tell you. It's not looking great out there. And if Canada gets dragged into this conflict in the Ukraine with Russia, well, here we go. Have faith. Have faith. Good always triumphs over evil. Have faith. My name is Paul Killamere. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q, Reader's Choice Award winner. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon with Your City, Your Voice. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamel Machine Company, and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. I always goof that up. I don't know why. I got a brain block here. Hamel Machine Company, my buddies. Support them. Support our sponsors. They support the city. They support me. They support the show. I mean, come on. Let's stick local. See you tomorrow with Trash Talking Tuesday. Should I get somebody in here? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll get somebody in here for another opinion. I don't know. I'm out of here. That's one thing I do know. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you all. Have faith and support our sponsors, and subscribe. Subscribe so you get a notification when I put this on the internet. On YouTube. Take care. Bye.